it's a slow process, and we're getting there. We can really see progress in those instincts of his. We can see them kind of forming, and you know, they're not taking shape completely. Howdy folks, my name's Ragon. Welcome back to the GWP Homestead. It's a little cold today here in western Kentucky, but I will not complain because we just got through a little bit of an ice storm. Not too bad. I mean, we use ice storm like in here in WKY. When we hear ice storm, we duck and cover and prepare for the worst, because about what 12 or 13 years ago in 2009 we got blasted by one. And so yeah, hey guys, guess what? Your trauma is showing. This one wasn't too bad, but the big glowing orb in outer space is shining down on us today. So we are I'm out here in a hoodie. I don't know if it's 32 degrees, but everything's melting, and it's just a glorious day. But we you know, I want to take you around and show you what all we dealt with, because we do have some trees and branches down. And later in the video, big fluffy boy right there, yesterday was a big day for him. So we'll close with that. I'll get Megan out here, but let's walk around and see what all we can get into. And oh, what a beautiful day. What a beautiful day. We're going to tame that mess coming up pretty soon. Gonna have to build some raised beds. I'm really looking forward to getting that project done. So this is a big junk tree growing up here behind well, it's a carport, but the goats like eating on that. I can't stand it. I'm assuming it's another privet. We have privet. I mean, all these trees in the fence row are all privet. All those trees going down in that fence row are privet, and it's going to be a mess cleaning all that up. But I'm looking forward to getting that done, because it's a junk tree, and I've got nothing but junk trees around here except for a handful of walnuts. If you're a tree person like I am, of course, we planted these little fruit trees. Oh, they're behind me. Where'd they go? You can't even see them. Whatever. We got a pear, blueberries, and 2 apple trees there behind me. We planted them last spring, and they need to be pruned and kind of shaped up this spring, really in the next couple of weeks, because before they bud out and get active, we want to make sure that those are taken care of and ready, so we don't disturb them whenever they're trying to grow. But we have a whole bunch of junk trees down here on the lower part of the property. We live in about 10 or just about 10 acres. And then as you go up this way, the ground actually goes up. And so on top of that ridge, hill, whatever, we actually got some oaks and persimmons, but we've got a handful of black walnuts around here. And I've been working hard to tag those and do what I can to keep up with them, because I really like those. I want them to get big and do what they need to do. They make good lumber. They're a good tree to have around. So we want to keep those, and basically just about everything else that's not marketable or isn't beneficial to wildlife, want them gone. So the goats like eating on that, but it looks like the ice may have taken care of some of that for us. So I'm happy to see that the goats are out. They've been in the barn for a few days, because I'm filming this on a Saturday. Wednesday it started raining. Ooh, it's cold. I don't care. The sun's, it's a beautiful day. Wednesday it rained, or started raining Wednesday, I guess. Thursday it rained, freezing rain all day, and I ended up staying home from work just because I didn't want to, like, I thought as cold as it was gonna flip at any moment, and all these trees were sagging, and it's a mess. So I didn't even go into work. I went into work yesterday, Friday. But really, it just never did get all that bad, but I'm so thankful. I was worried, and it really, I don't think it got as bad here, or it got worse here. We got more ice here at our house than, you know, once you get a couple miles outside of here, at least going like the direction where we typically go, north and east, they didn't get as much ice. But all that is to say, the goats are really happy to be out, even if it's snowy and icy. They're just happy to be out and wandering around and feeling the sun on their backs. It's a great day to be a goat. Unfortunately, I am fairly confident that as all this ice melts off these junk trees, that all they're going to spring back up. I know I've got at least one hackberry that we were trying to kill over there that snapped off, and it looks like with all the water that was running down that way, the roots, with those weakened dead roots, that thing started to lean, and then once it got to a point, the top of it broke out. So that's good. You know, obviously that's the one we wanted to get rid of anyway, but I wouldn't have minded if all of these just went ahead and broke off, so I could come out here with a chainsaw, knock them down, and be less I have to try and fool with later. But I don't think I'm going to get that lucky, but I guess time will tell. It's a great day to be a goat. You know, the sun's still shining on my fuzzy back. Benji, Clyde, and Violet are still, I mean, this thing's still covered in ice. and they're eating all those berries, which that's a double-edged sword there. They're eating it, they're having fun, you know, good, happy goats, right? Except that as they digest those berries and move throughout the field, guess what's going to happen? You know how berries and wildflowers and all this stuff, all those seeds get transplanted to different parts, right? Yeah, through the digestive system. So, double-edged sword, like I said. We'll have to deal with that some other time. No big deal. He's a big boy. He's so good. He's such a good dog. I know Mama's going to come out here later and talk about you. Mama's going to come talk about you. I know it. He's a giant, giant floof. The supreme floof. So from what I can tell, this pine tree right there actually had the most damage out of any tree, at least that I've been able to see on the farm. I've walked a little bit back that way. I haven't gone too far. But this one just, yeah, Thursday, a handful of branches fell out of it, and most of them came from way up there. Not too bad. And, you know, this isn't a special tree, doesn't mean anything. I'm glad they fell straight down and not toward the house or anything, because really that tree's only, I mean, not very far from the house at all, so we're glad it didn't fall anymore. Or that maple tree, whoop, spinning, this maple tree didn't fall down. But it's a sturdier tree. Ice is hard on pines, at least according to my Papaw Sporty. I believe him. He's been around a while. He knows his stuff. What about y'all? Did y'all have a good time? Y'all are out and about today. Mr. Mark. You peck my boot, I'm gonna pick you up. You're not gonna like it if I have to pick you up and love on you. We had a problem, Rooster. Thank you, June. We had a... What? Yes, I see there's a chicken with you. It's okay. I think y'all are gonna get out later. Get all the chickens in here. Get in here where the light's better. I tell you, the sunlight just does wonders for everyone. It's good for me, it's good for the animals. I'm so ready for spring I can't even stand it. We got work to do in here too. This, you know what, I'm not walking in there, it's a mess. There's a reason. This is what I'm about to say. When we transferred this coop, we built this coop at our last house, brought it over here. That was a huge ordeal, but we went ahead and built this run, did everything. I'm gonna put a roof. My plan is to put a roof over the entirety of this run. It's about, I forget how long. It's not all that long, it's like 16, 18 feet maybe. I want to put a metal roof over it and then put some wood chips down in the bottom like a mulch, because it just stays so gross in there. So I want to take care of that and it'll be better for the chickens. And you know, now that we're about out of the wet, frozen, frostbite kind of concern season, it's not that critical, but I still want to get it done. And we're gonna do a project in here we're gonna show y'all soon. That project's gonna be pretty fun. It's all about making do with what you got and using the materials as best as you can to improve your situation. This barn is such a blessing because when it's inclement weather like we've had the past few days, we can leave the animals up. We don't have to worry about them. But it's not perfect. Nothing really ever is, right? And so being able to make do with what you have, modify it as best as you can, and improve it, that's what we're all about. We're making do and doing our best to improve what we've been blessed with, you know, to the best of our abilities. Plot twist, the dog is a muddy mess because defrost. Like, the sun's been out all day. I filmed kind of like midday, and now we're here late in the evening. A lot of melt off, and that has resulted. Come on, buddy. Oh, look at that dog. Yeah, he's a muddy mess. We love him. He's a muddy mess, though.
And he's happy. He's not cold by any means. They've got really thick coats that are double layered, so he's perfectly fine. And this mud will dry out, and he'll be off his fur.
So if you don't know, Virgil is a Great Pyrenees Anatolian Shepherd mix, and both of those breeds have a double coat. Both of those have a double coat, and it keeps them cool in the summer and warm in the winter, and he really just wicks away moisture. So he'll slough this water off in mud, and I mean, he'll look clean. We won't have to bathe him or anything. He'll just gonna look like
a self-cleaning coat is what a lot of people refer to it as, because it is. I've seen him muddy like this or worse, and then once the ground kind of dries and he dries, he's clean as a button.
He looks like a brand new dog the next day. It's amazing. But the reason that Virgil is the topic of the video is he tries to eat Megan's glove. Yesterday, the 4th, February 4th, was his gotcha day. So that's the day we brought Virgil home as an 11-week-old puppy. It's the day he came to the farm.
Oh, goodness. And the day he gave me this lovely scar on my face.
Tiny puppy jumped up in the car, scratched her, and
then promptly pooped on me.
Yeah, it was a banner day. But
it also was the second animal I'd brought home in a week.
Yeah.
The first being Benji.
First was Benji, and then like 2 weeks after that? Probably not even 2 weeks after that.
10 days, because it was the it
wasn't the 14th, but
it was right before. It was like the 12th, maybe.
Yeah, yeah. Brandy Carlisle and Annie Oakley are two dairy goats. The two
original.
Yeah,
dairy
the
goats.
two dairy goat does. Of course, Benji's a dairy goat as well,
yeah.
but he's a boy. But anyway, yeah, it's Virgil's gotcha day.
Pull me on.
Oh, what a lovely, lovely puppy. Of course, Virgil had his viral moment on TikTok where he when he got neutered and his back dew claws removed. Because Great Pyrenees Anatolian Shepherd have double dew claws. Picture. On their hind feet, and because he really doesn't need those in our geography, where he's not climbing rocky mountains and everything like he would be in his home country where that breed of dog originated from. Good thing you took a shower, right?
I can wash the coat.
He doesn't need those dew claws here, and so
in ours they're more likely to get ripped off. He sees the kids, so he's going over to investigate them.
Yep. So because we don't want to have any problems with him, you know, an emergency vet visit, those dew claws, if they do happen to get torn off, they'll bleed like crazy. And so we just had them removed, and he's done great with that. But because he was getting those incisions, his feet up and chewing on his incisions, he had to have a 40-centimeter cone of shame.
Which is the biggest one they made, and they thought they were going to have to special order it. Luckily, they still had one in stock.
And he still, within a week, defeated it, and we just had to do our best. We kept his incisions wrapped quite a bit.
We had to wrap them. We tried duct tape on the cone. We tried to pull noodle all around the cone. Get nothing else.
Yep. But we've had him for a year, and we've always heard that your first livestock guardian dog is the hardest one to train, and you know, he's our first one, so sure, we agree with that. Why not?
The big thing is
I had to switch arms. My arm was getting tired and the camera was getting shaky.
The biggest thing with them is you're training all on your own. Hello. You're training all on your own. Your second, third, etc. is trained by your previous guardian. So we'll introduce a second guardian probably when he's maybe around 4. That way he has time to train. Yes, I know. I don't have your baby.
If Deacon was out here, that dog's just in love with that little baby.
Yeah, I know.
It's too cold. It's still probably about 28 right now. It may have cracked freezing a little bit today, but just barely. So sun's down, it's cold again.
Your first one, you're training completely on your own. So you're having to tether them. You're having to only let them with the livestock when you're there. It's just hard. It's, you know, having to make sure you're moving everyone. He's still close to them, but he can't access them. So at times we've had him tethered between, because we were keeping goats in here, which is just our backyard. But it was really easy here. It's great maternity pen, because I can see him right out my kitchen. And then right over there we have a bunch of them, so we were tethering him in kind of this in-between area, so he was getting access to both sets of goats without being too close. He was also getting exposed to the chickens that free range everywhere. Livestock guardian dogs are not poultry safe until 4, and he has proven that.
Yep, he hasn't killed any, but he would have gotten after one today if they'd have been in the fence with him. Yeah. The chickens don't know any better. They just flutter up here and want to investigate. Virgil,
our Insight Dog Boss, which is our big black Newfoundland lab mix, is completely poultry safe. So he goes in and out of the coops and runs around. So they don't fully understand that Virgil's not that yet. So it's been interesting. It's their first time training a livestock guardian dog. It's our first time really training any dog. He's so pretty. Look at that big boy. What are you doing, buddy? He knows his job. He loves his goats. If the goats are out, he's cool. Like, he knows what he's doing. It was New Year's Eve. We had a skunk get over here in this carport behind me there. You see the carport. And he was going crazy. I could smell the skunk, but I couldn't see it originally. And I finally seen it move, and he did exactly what he was supposed to do. He didn't try to leave his fence, because he was in here. He didn't try to leave his fence. He just barked, alerted us, and was trying to push it. Oh.
He good.
He was trying to push it away from the house and the animals, which all the animals were locked up, including the chickens. It's not going to hurt a goat, but it's hard to get you in the shot.
I gotta hold the thing. Here, swap back.
I'm too short.
I feel more comfortable holding the camera anyway.
I'm too short.
But he's doing really good. It's a slow process as he's walking over there. It's a slow process, and we're getting there. We can really see progress in those instincts of his. We can see them kind of forming, and you know, they're not taking shape completely, but they're forming. And I mean, it's going to be really great to see him over the next year. We're
going to adapt the barn, which you'll see in a later.
I mentioned that earlier.
Okay, so yeah.
No, go ahead. Tell him.
We're going to adapt the barn a little better, so we're going to have to separate some boys out soon because we're going to have baby goats soon.
Within a month. Or, you know,
oh wow,
maybe four. I know today is the 5th,
wow.
And Violet's due on the 8th, so we'll see how close we got on our due date prediction.
Okay, well, so we're gonna have to be able to separate the boys out, but we're having to adapt what we already have, and so it's gonna be interesting. We're gonna see if it works.
He's gonna get all up close and personal with them, and have a a fence in between them, like it'd be good. Yeah, you're sneaky, aren't you?
Yeah, I am. I've been so quiet. And heavy.
What do you think about Virgil?
I like him. He's fluffy.
He is a big fluffy animal, isn't he?
He is. Good boy. Good boy. I think he's a good boy.
You think he's a good boy?
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you a kiss.
He's got those big muddy paws.
Yeah, he does.
We're really excited to see how he develops, how he grows this next year.
He loves the kids. That's why he's excited right now too.
I don't know how much more he's going to grow, but he's a great big dog. So
he's still got to fill out. When he stands on his back feet, he's as tall as I am.
Yeah, he can put his paws on your shoulders and look you straight square in the eyes. So
if I'm sitting on the ground and he like walks up to me, I mean I can't see over him.
Yep.
Because he's so big. It's hard to reference him when you don't have someone standing next to him.
But if you're excited to see how he grows and how he continues to progress, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. We're going to have a whole playlist. We already have a whole playlist on what we're doing with him and kind of his progress as a livestock guardian dog in training and how he grows. There's
also a video that shows his megacone video that went viral.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Look us up on TikTok if you want to see the full thing.
Yep, it's a great time.
He's the sole reason we, are monetized on TikTok.
Yeah, we make oh yeah, TikTok is super productive. That's a story for another day. TikTok. That clock app. All right. My name's Ragon. That's Megan. And this is Keaton.
Say bye.
Bye.
See y'all soon.
Bye, guys.